Hello again, everybody. It is Takedown. Scott Casper with you. We head out to Los Angeles to have a conversation with one of the men who is leading not just our Olympic movement, but the wrestling movement here at home and around the world. He joins us now as USA Wrestling leader Andy Barth. Andy, thank you for taking the time to join us.
You're welcome, Scott. It's great to be with you again.
March 15th and 16th, you and your team out there, along with USA Wrestling, will do it again. It wasn't that long ago where we united for wrestling in Los Angeles to help save our sport. Now we have an opportunity to promote it with the Freestyle World Cup. It comes back to the United States. Can you talk to us about the effort?
Yeah. Oh, this is exciting, Scott. We've got 10 of the best teams in the world coming to LA March 15th, 16th in a dual meet competition format. Two exciting days of wrestling, 4 sessions. We've got the Iranians, we've got the Russians, Ukrainians, Georgians. Of course, we've got the U.S. team and 5 other teams as well. If you want, I'll go through them all. But those, by the way, were the top 5 in the world based on the World Championship rankings. I think it's just going to be a great, great weekend of wrestling. It's a good weekend for those who are wrestling fans. California State Championships have just been completed the weekend before, and the Nationals are the weekend after. So we're not accepting any excuses. Everyone's got to be here to come see this. So we're excited. We're excited about it. I think it's great wrestling, great people, and a great event. We're glad to have it back in the United States. We're hoping to keep it here for a couple of years as well.
It's been here since its inception, what, 26 times, correct?
Yeah, it started, I believe it was 73. It started in 73, I think, in Toledo, Ohio. Most recently, I think it was here maybe about 15 years ago. And we're glad to have it back. It was in Iran last year. The top 3 teams were Iran, Russia, United States. We'd like to change those rankings a little bit with a better outcome. But we're excited to have it here, continuing to build on this great support base we have in Los Angeles for wrestling and California in general. We have a great group of folks here in California that are helping us.
We're talking with Andy Barth. He is the man behind what has become the United for Wrestling event. He's also Titan Mercury Wrestling. We wouldn't have Titan Mercury Wrestling, obviously, without you and great guys like Wayne Boyd, our leader there, but also Beat the Streets LA. So why is this event important to the community of wrestling as it grows in Los Angeles?
Yeah. Well, I think it demonstrates to the young people who are involved in Beat the Streets, just what they can become, what they can do. I think it allows them to be involved. We'll be looking for and using, I think, a lot of folks in Beat the Streets as volunteers. And I think these young people they get very excited when they learn that, oh my goodness, I'm here with a world champ. I'm here with an Olympic medalist. It gives them role models. It gives them people to look up to and folks to aspire to be like. Whether that is someone like Olympic gold medalist Jordan Burroughs or one of the top Iranian or Russian or Armenian wrestlers. We have a huge ethnic base here in LA that is very, very supportive of wrestling, and we're hoping to see them all come out to watch the event, and it'll be okay if they cheer for their the team of their heritage. We'll let them do that as well. Hoping we can get a lot of U.S. fans out to cheer for the United States.
Andy Barth, our guest, and he will be playing host along with a number of others, and we'll talk about those folks here in a moment. But the event itself, the Cup, will be taking place at the Forum, the newly remodeled Forum, the former home of the L.A. Lakers, among other teams. And what a tremendous opportunity will be for us to showcase wrestling in a wonderful facility, much like the event we had in New York not that long ago at Madison Square Garden. How cool is it to have it at the Forum?
It's tremendous. The Forum is newly renovated. It was not too long ago bought by Madison Square Garden. They put probably around tens of millions, maybe $100 million into renovating it. I think it's just going to be a great facility. It's going to feel, brand new. It's going to be, I think, make us feel just like, like all stars, like all kinds of sports stars, to be participating in that. We're going to only have, because of the format, we're only going to have two mats going, two dual meets. So I think that'll allow people to focus their attention on the exciting action. So we're very excited to have been able to work with Madison Square Garden in a brand new facility in Los Angeles, and I think we're really expecting this event to come off with a lot of style and excitement.
Talk to us about Rich Bender, James Ravinack, Pete Isaias, and those at USA Wrestling that obviously they're gonna stand a little bit taller having this event back here on U.S. soil. But it is largely USA's responsibility to lead this sport, to govern this sport to higher highs, and bring California and other states along with it.
Yeah, well, I think you're talking about the leadership of USA Wrestling. I think they're really committed to seeing that our sport grow here in the States. I think they're committed to seeing that we deliver, in regards to our tournaments, that we deliver a top-notch, entertaining product that's going to allow us to grow the sport. I don't think you could find three more dedicated individuals than Rich, Pete, and Jim, who really have the very best interests of wrestling at heart, and they've been tremendously supportive. When we first heard that the World Cup was available back around the time of the World Championships in September of last year in Budapest, they really said, "Hey, if you guys think you can put it together, let's go for it." So they've been incredibly supportive, and they're great guys to work with.
Financially, the commitment is strongly on the shoulders of organizations like Beat the Streets LA, California USA, the Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. Also want to bring up the Tsunami Family Foundation. Khosrow Tsunami has been I think, a rather vocal hero to the sport. Your opinion?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think he is sort of a new but passionate fan of the sport. He, I think, has become a tremendous backer. Loves to see it coming. He also loves the fact of what wrestling can mean in relationship to diplomacy through sports, friendship building through sports. He's just an incredibly tremendous humanitarian, and who sees the opportunity for how we can build, transatlantic, transoceanic friendships through this gracious but competitive sport.
I think we saw it most notably, well, right after we were notified by the International Olympic Committee that perhaps wrestling would not be welcomed back into the Olympic Games. But we noticed it in Tehran, Iran. It was in February of 2013, and the pictures went around the world rather quickly, I might add, when Ahmadinejad was partnered up and paired up with individuals like Zeke Jones, the leader of our freestyle men's team, our head coach. It's important that we don't let politics get in the way of the advancement of the sport, but sometimes political animals, the way they, such as they are, they're a little hard to break sometimes, aren't they?
There was, Scott, wherever you have more than two people, you're going to have some politics. It's up to us in wrestling to make sure that we understand that we do our very best to, within the scope of the rules and civility and good behavior, that we learn how to manage that political situation as best as we can. I think just based on the results of what happened in February of 1 year ago, you can clearly say we were not, and I don't really put that blame on folks in the United States as much as others. But we're not, as a collective group, doing the type of job that we should be doing in managing those politics. I think February of 2013 was a wake-up call, and I think we're doing a much better job today. I think that all the folks that who are at FILA today and at USA Wrestling and the national governing bodies in places like Russia and Iran and Japan are way more on top of this whole situation and understanding that there are politics in anything we do, and we have to understand it and effectively manage that. And I think you're going to see that we do that much better in the future. It's a shame that it had to be such a life-threatening experience to really kind of maybe wake us up. But we're awake and we're active and moving very quickly and looking to do great things for the sport.
Is it fair to say we're stronger today for having had that shared experience?
Absolutely, we definitely are stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, Scott.
I think, was it Gable that said that?
It probably was. He probably says it every day.
He says a lot of different things. I have a hard time keeping up with all the Gableisms. Dwayne Morgan is the state chairperson of California USA Wrestling. What type of obligation is Dwayne Morgan putting forward for this event, as far as being one of the leadership for this event in the state of California?
Yeah. So California USA Wrestling, they were so supportive and great to work with as it related to the United for Wrestling event in May. That level of commitment is continuing. We're having access to their email list, their databases, in order to advertise and promote the event, as well as the way that they are providing a lot of logistical support, whether it be equipment or volunteers. So they're a great partner to work with, and they're doing a lot of good things for us in respect to the World Cup.
Andy Barth is our guest, 2016 men's Olympic team leader, and largely one of the great guys. We talk about our leadership from the coast as it comes into the Midwest and then back out again. But you have a great asset out there in Billy Baldwin, and I know he'll be marshaling the forces of Hollywood. Have you had that conversation with Billy, and do you know what type of guests we might expect from Hollywood?
Well, no, I don't have a list yet. I think that Billy will be there. We'll certainly have Nate Parker there. Nate, by the way, has a new movie coming out. They'll be working on their list of friends. That list is still getting put together. I think Billy is going to continue to be a big celebrity, and you're going to see him on in a lot of Iranian and Armenian and Russian media outlets here in the Los Angeles area, helping promote our World Cup event.
And he is working tirelessly on behalf of the sport, traveling a lot for it, and has been a tremendous voice for us as well. We're talking again with Andy Barth, 2016 men's Olympic team leader, and it's a big job. When asked a couple years ago to reinvest in wrestling, did you realize how much time you'd be reinvesting in wrestling?
No, but I'm very happy to do it. We didn't. I don't think anyone had any idea that in February of 2013 that we were going to see wrestling faced with this this challenge, this threat. In fact, I think, Scott, I think they made the release about me being the team leader on February 11th of 2013. So I think I had one day to enjoy that before the International Olympic Committee Executive Committee voted to kick wrestling out of the Olympics.
I think my question was for you that next day was, how's that working for you? There
Well,
was
let's,
there was
let's
a
get
press release that went out today, Andy, from your alma mater, and I had a chance to talk with Carl, the head coach at Columbia.
Coach Fraunhofer. Yeah.
Sure, and the Andrew F. Barth, 83 head coach at Columbia, and he told me of a story of a third coaching position being endowed at Columbia. This being the only university or only college in America to have three endowed coaching positions. First of all, I know that wouldn't have taken place without your leadership, but can we expect to see other universities, or hopefully to see other universities follow suit?
Well, I think so. I think that first off, the within the Ivy League, we don't really have athletic scholarships per se. So that I think when we looked for a way to make sure that we were ensuring that wrestling would stay at Columbia forever, we felt that the most effective way for us to do that was to endow the coaching positions. And so I endowed the head coaching position. Mike, Dave Barry, I think a couple of great guys, both went to Columbia, wrestled at Columbia. They endowed the first assistant, and then I got us started on the second assistant, which we're naming after one of our assistant coaches, John Humer. I got us started, but the rest of the body of alumni came through to finish that off. So we felt that by establishing these endowed coaching positions, we would ensure wrestling at Columbia, into perpetuity. I think that that's a model that probably will work well, or would work well at any or all of the Ivy League schools. I think at the other schools, I think it probably requires a bit, maybe a bit more of a comprehensive approach where you try to seek to endow the scholarships that are provided by the programs. Now, this is largely at the Division I level. Division II, Division III, it's a little different economics. But I think that this is something that will really help to see that we preserve these wrestling programs, which are really part, of our feeder system for international wrestling.
And you said it's the John Humer.
John Humer.
Right, second assistant coaching position. So, and I think that's a very generous designation for that. But he has done so much for the program in recruiting and many other things, providing leadership, etc. I thought it was when Carl explained to me, Coach Fraunhofer explained to me why. I was very touched by that, and I thought how appropriate and how generous again. And I believe that that is something that will live on for a long time. His name will be remembered along with that program, and I wanted to bring that up in large part to say thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Well, a lot of us at Columbia owe John Humer a great deal of thanks. He was responsible for getting a lot of folks interested in Columbia. Helping them get through the admissions process. And I think a lot of people owe their time at Columbia to John Humer, and that should be recognized. And he did it for at least 2 decades, maybe more. It was a great human being, and it's fun to be able to recognize the really good guys.
It really is.
So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be able to do that.
March 15th and 16th at the newly renovated Forum in Inglewood, California, the World Cup. The superpowers of the sport of wrestling will be drawn together into two pools of five teams each, and it will be the best of the best. And I'm encouraging each and every one of you right now to buy your tickets for this action-packed weekend of wrestling. It's men's freestyle wrestling as the best in the world converge in Los Angeles, California at the LA Forum. And the best way to do it, folks, to get tickets, there is a website established for this, and we encourage you to check it out. It's easy enough to find, but I think the best way to do it would be go to themat.com, USA Events as well, usawevents.sport, sportngin.com. That's easy enough for me to say, but how about this? Just go to themat.com. Andy, again, thank you so much for your leadership. I want to thank Wayne Boyd for all he does for our sport through Titan Mercury Wrestling. What a bundle of energy he is. I don't know how you or anybody else keeps up with him, but just a tremendous asset to our sport.
Thank you very much, Scott. Wayne is terrific, and we're really he's been doing some good things, really good things, getting our Titan Mercury club off the ground and helping it grow. And we're excited and thrilled that we can support these great athletes. They're doing a pretty good job out there. So
well, they are. And in closing, I do want to bring that up. Take a look at the results of the Schultz, for example. The Titan Mercury Wrestling Club had a tremendous Schultz tournament, and I think we can expect that to continue as the Titan Mercury Wrestling Club really solidifies itself on the national scene and international scene. What kind of feedback are you getting from USA Wrestling and other members about the Titan Mercury Club?
Well, I think they're very happy to see it. I think everyone is always very appreciative of the support that we give the athletes. We always have to be mindful. We've got other great clubs, national clubs. Sunkist, led by Art Martori, really one of the great men of the sport, who has just been a tremendous example to me. And New York Athletic Club, currently being led by Dave Fox, and that's a club with a tradition that goes back long before you and I were even born, Scott. So those are three great clubs that are helping athletes achieve their dreams, and then we have the slew of regional clubs, some of which we've been working with to jointly cooperate and help athletes, and it's great. I think I would just always want to point out that this is really about the athletes achieving their dreams, and it really comes to mind now, right here, we've got the Winter Olympics going on. It just reminds you, these young people giving up years of their lives for a sport they love, for a country they love, and to be able to help them in that pursuit of achieving greatness is really very rewarding and very satisfying, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Andy Barth has been our guest, and Andy, do me a favor. My thanks to your family, especially Avery, who makes you available and doesn't holler too loud when you're gone so many days on behalf of the sport. We appreciate your presence and your support, and on behalf of all of us in wrestling, thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Los Angeles.
I think I'm looking forward to seeing you, Scott. It'll be a great time.
It will be. For all of us at USA Wrestling, for Takedown Wrestling, this has been a very special opportunity to go one-on-one with one of our sports leaders, Andy Barth, the 2016 Men's Olympic leader.